Now let me go to yet another interesting thing. So we are speaking about mathematics. We are speaking about how it was utilized. So what was the interest behind getting so deep into mathematics for our ancestors is that they had to perform a lot of rituals. And when we speak of rituals, it will be having a yajna kunda and performing the Agni Karya. So a lot of fire rituals were performed. And that comes with a lot of rules. When you're doing it for the first year, it has to be to the height of the knee level of the performer. And if you're doing it for the second year, it has to be to the height of the hip level of the performer. So a lot of things are like that. If you want the result to be for a particular thing, then it has to be circle. If the result has to be something else, it has to be a square. For something else, it has to be in the form of a Garuda. So a lot of rules were there. Now comes the interesting part. With all these rules, they had some specifications saying that you have to have X as the area, irrespective of the shape of your Yajna Kunda. So the shape had to be a variable, but the area had to be the same. And how did they manage this? The height is a variable, shape is a variable, but area had to be the same. So what our ancestors did is they brought in a lot of geometry to this entire practice. So geometry, gea means arc. So geam iti became geometry, where they brought in a lot of calculations based on the size they required. So if you look at this, these are called as the chittis. The Yajna Kunda that I was mentioning are called as the chitti. So here you can see the shape of a wheel. And inside a wheel, it is not a single wheel. You can see a lot of smaller shapes. And each of the smaller shapes comes with a different area, which means a different calculation is required, a different formula is required. And the number of squares or trapeziums or triangles that are used inside each of this is a variable. So they had to calculate the area of this. And then they will say, okay, you have performed this year. So if you want a different result, then this entire thing, the area should remain the same, but now you have to change it into a falcon or a Garuda. So how do they change it? Now all these squares have to change. The triangles have to be added, different shapes have to be performed. So they created all this, and that was the application of geometry. So we had a lot of formulas, we had a lot of transformation activities, we had a lot of sutras, Sulba Sutra, Bodhayana Sutra, everything was because of this geometry and triangles. Now, here is a very, very interesting application which we are very familiar today. So as part of this entire activity of building the chittis or the Omakundas, there was a great Maharishi by name Bodhayana. We don't call them scientists, we call them Maharishis. So this Bodhayana was teaching a lot of his students on how to go about and implement these things. So the students came and they had a question. They said, look, for the earlier application, we used a small square. Okay, one Omakundam was used. For the subsequent year, we possibly used a slightly bigger Omakundam. Now for this year, our area has to be an addition of these two Omakundas combined together. The area can neither be more nor less. How do we go about and do this? So the explanation given by Bodhayana is what we call as one part of the Pythagoras theorem. So what did Bodhayana say? He said, no worries, place the small Omakundam on one side. Just touching that, place the second Omakundam. Now these two will become the sides for you. Use a rope. Rope is the sutra. So use the rope to join the first Omakundam and the second Omakundam. So C is what you see as the rope which measures between A and B. So he says, if you use that as the side and create a square, the area will be exactly the same as your two smaller Omakundams. So A square plus B square is equal to C square is basically what he communicated through this entire process. The square on the hypotenuse of a right angle triangle is equal to the square of the sums of the other two sides. And this was at least 1,000 years before the birth of Pythagoras. So, and the purpose of this was to create the Omakunda. So we call it as the Bodhayana Pythagoras theorem so that we understand and relate to it today. So getting slightly more into the mathematics part of all these interesting things, inspired by a lot of wisdom in the Vedas and the kind of mathematics they've used, we have a person who understood and learned all these things and created small sutras recently, I think in 65. So what he had done is he's given 16 sutras, which today we call as the Vedic mathematics, which simplify a lot of things, and it will be very useful for the kids of today to use this to speed up their mathematic calculations. So I'll give you just one or two examples here. The first one is Ekadikena Purvena. Second one is Nikhilam Navataha Charamam Dashataha. I will give you an example of these two things. If you have a piece of paper and pen, you can try it when I'm explaining it here. Now, let's just go into the first example. We have the first sutra, Ekadikena Purvena. Okay, so it's a very, very interesting sutra. Now, what this explains is, I will do it here with my pen so that you can see it. Suppose I have a number called 25. Okay. Now I want to square 25. What I have to do is I have 25 into 25. The sutra basically says Eka Adhika Purvam, which means instead of 2, you must add 1 to it. So Ekam Adhigam, 1 extra to the first letter. So the first now is 2. So instead of 2, I'm supposed to make it as 3. That is what is the meaning of the sutra. All right. So how do we calculate? How do I know the square of 35 is? I know 5 into 5 is 25. So I'm just going to put that here. So 25, I know for sure. Now I have 3 and I have 2. 3 into 2, I know is 6. 625 is my answer. Do you understand it? It's very simple. So, Ekadikena Purvena. That's how we understand it. Now, let me give you another example. What we see on the screen, 35 into 35. Suppose I have 35 and I want a square of it. So I'm going to write 35 again. Now, as we already know, 5 into 5 is 25. So I'm going to put that aside. Now the rule is instead of 3, I'm supposed to change it as 4. Ekadikena Purvena. So 4 into 3, I know is 12. My answer is 1225. So we can do the square of any number. Okay. So let's take a slightly more complicated thing now. Say you have 95 into 95. So what would the answer be? So all of us know that 5 into 5 is 25. So I'm going to put that here. Instead of 9, I'm supposed to take it as 10. So 10 into 9 will be 90. So my answer will be 9025. All right. So it is as easy as this to square any number. So can this particular sutra be used only for squaring numbers? The rule says that if the last 2 digits add up to 10, then I can use this particular, for the bases which add up to 10. So 5 and 5 added up to 10. So it need not be just for square. I can use it as long as the last 2 digits are going to add up to 10, which means my application is wider for this. So instead of squaring, suppose I have 44 into 46. Okay. So how do I do that? The same formula. Ekadikena Purvena. So 44 is there. 46 is there. I know 6 into 4 is 24. So I write 24 here. So instead of 4, my rule says I'm supposed to use 5. So 5 into 4 is 20. My answer is 2024. So here again, 37 into 33, the same rule applies. Instead of 3, I'll take it as 4. So my answer is 1221. Okay. Nikhilam Navataha Charamam Dashataha. So this sutra means all from 9 and last from 10. I have 97, which is a very, which is a number which is very close to 100. Okay. By 3, because 100 minus 3 is 97. So what I have to do is I mark 97 here. I mark 3 here. Okay. And the second number is 94, which means that it is again very close to 100. The difference is only 6. So I mark 6 here. So the first step is to do 3 into 6, which is 6, 12, 18, which I write. And then 97 minus 6. Okay. So we do a cross thing here. Therefore, the value becomes 91. So the answer will be 9118. Similarly, if you look at 104, the difference between 100 and 104 is 4, but this time it is more than 100. So what I have to do, I'll put a 04, and for 102, it's a 02. So 4 into 2 is 8. I first add that, 08. And then what happens is, because this is more than 100, instead of subtracting like what we did last time, we have to add. So 104 plus 2 becomes 106. So the answer is 10608. So when we know these very simple sutras, we can do huge calculations. In fact, this is not just restricted to 2-digit numbers. We can do it for 3-digit numbers. So the scope for this is huge, right? So mathematics can be simplified using these Vedic mathematics sutras.